Now, of course, the movie Michael has opened up this weekend. I went to go see a screening of it on the little one-day advanced fan screening on Wednesday. Then it opened nationwide last night, of course, in theaters again today. And my impressions of it myself was overall thumbs up. I enjoyed it. Now, I'm a Michael Jackson fan. I really like his music. I love Antoine Fuqua as a director. And as what I said about it in my review was that as a project that celebrates the music of Michael Jackson, it totally works. And I enjoyed it. That being said, I also really understand a lot of the criticism about the movie because as a movie, it's a bit on the weaker side. It's a little bit on the weaker side as a movie, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But listen, I have been predicting, you guys know this who've been watching my show, I've been predicting for over a year that this movie is going to be massive. And as of right now, how massive, who knows? It'll depend on how good the movie is. But after just one day, Michael has set the all-time opening day preview record for any musical biopic by a large margin. And it scored an A- cinema score from audiences. It made $12.6 million in just its preview nights. Again, by far the largest ever for a music biopic, and scored a really impressive A- cinema score. Now, how does that compare to other musical biopics we've had? Well, it's impressive. Take a look at this. The biggest preview night box office ever in history for a musical biopic was Straight Outta Compton. That made $5 million on its preview night. It went on to having an opening weekend of $60.2 million. Right below that was Bohemian Rhapsody at $3.9 million for its preview nights, went on to make $51 million for its opening weekend. The film Elvis, which correct me if I'm wrong in the live chat, but I think Elvis got nominated for Best Picture, made $3.5 million in fourth place, opening up to $31 million. And Bob Marley's One Love made $3.2 million, going on to make $27.7 million on its opening weekend. But look at that number, guys. Look at that number. The record was Straight Outta Compton at $5 million. Michael more than doubled it. More than doubled it with $12.6 million. It's right now projected to make somewhere between 90 and 100 million opening weekend. Now, how big it will actually be, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But the numbers are going to be big. Whenever a movie comes out and breaks a record, that's notable. Okay, that's notable. But when a movie comes out and breaks a record by more than double of what the previous record was, guys, that's something you got to remember. It's not just notable. That's something you got to remember. And what's really good for Michael is not only has it done really well financially, the audiences seem to like it as well. As we go over and look at the list of the best audience scores from CinemaScore. Now, for audience scores, the Rotten Tomatoes audience score is good to look at. It is. It's good because it's verified people who've seen the movie. But CinemaScore is actually the most accurate because CinemaScore doesn't just do an online survey. CinemaScore actually physically talk to people and survey people as they're coming out of the theaters. So CinemaScore is the most accurate, and Michael got a really good score. It got an A-. Now, that makes it tied for the fourth best. At A-, that ties it with the audience score that Elvis got and the audience score that Rocketman got. Both really good movies. But it does put it just a little bit behind Bob Marley One Love, which got an A, Straight Outta Compton, which got an A, and what I personally think is probably the best musical biopic ever made, which was Bohemian Rhapsody, which also got a cinema score of A. But for Michael to get a cinema score of A- is fantastic. That's absolutely great. Audiences are liking it, and it's making money. These are all really, really good things. Now, this may, of course, understandably, bring up the discussion about, well, if the audience score is A minus and it's making $12 million in its preview nights, why is there such a discrepancy between the critic scores, which right now have gone up to 40%, and the audience score, the Rotten Tomatoes audience score is 96. Why is there such a big discrepancy between them? Now, I've sat here and watched a lot of very weak-minded people make up some pathetic ass excuses. Well, critics just hate Michael Jackson. No, they don't. No, they don't. I'm sure there are a couple that do. Just like I'm sure if you go into McDonald's, there's a couple of people in McDonald's who hate him too. But that is not why the critics gave it, or some critics, 60% of the critics gave it a bad score. So get that weak ass sauce of critics just don't like Michael Jackson. Shut the fuck up. You're stupid. That's not why. Now, I liked it. I gave it a positive review. So I'm one of the 40%. But guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Hims. I know a lot of us have weight loss goals, but actually hitting them, that's the hard part. Hims now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill at its lowest price ever and the Wegovy pen. And when combined with diet and exercise, Wegovy can help you lose up to 20% or more of your body weight by helping regulate your appetite so you eat less. You connect with a licensed provider who determines if treatment is right for you, and if prescribed, your medication gets delivered straight to your door, no insurance needed. Plus, you get 24/7 access to your care team and in-app support like meal plans, recipes, fitness videos, and more. Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/Campea to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/Campea. hims.com/Campea. Based on advertised cash price for a 30-day supply of medication only. Membership required, fee not included, and billed separately. Weight loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk AS. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information and restrictions, visit hims.com. I think the reason, and I'm just, my best theory about why we see such a big discrepancy between the critic scores and the audience scores is something I've talked about for years, which is, and why I understand why there's such a gap. As somebody who liked the movie, I understand why there's such a big gap. When people go to a movie, they will pay to buy a ticket to go to a movie that looks like it's something that really interests them and that they might enjoy. Now, sometimes they do enjoy it, sometimes they don't. Whereas film critics, they don't have that luxury. They just go to see a movie, whether it's something that looks like it appeals to them or not, right? There are a lot of people out there who don't like Michael Jackson that did not go to see Michael this weekend. Like, no duh, right? Like, of course, obviously. And when people who love Michael Jackson go to see a Michael Jackson movie, and like me, are primarily looking for a celebration of Michael Jackson's music, like I was, then we walk out of the theater with a positive experience, right? Because I think on that level, Michael really works. And so for myself and other people like me, we go into Michael primarily looking for a celebration of Michael Jackson's music and to be entertained by his music. And the movie kills it on that level. And so and I think a lot of you, walked out of it really enjoying ourselves. But if you're going into Michael not really concerned about the music of Michael Jackson, maybe you don't care much about Michael Jackson, you just want to go see a good, solid movie. Michael has its weaknesses as a film. Like, as somebody who I gave a positive review to Michael, I understand because it is very thin. It keeps things very surface, It's very one-dimensional in many ways. It's not a strong movie, but as a celebration of Michael Jackson. Here's a good comparison. Take the all-time great goat of goats, icon of all icons movie, Breakin'. That's right. That's right. Spielberg couldn't have made Breakin'. Nolan couldn't have made Breakin'. Villeneuve couldn't have made Breakin'. But let's take the movie Breakin'. Okay? The 1983 classic breakdancing movie. One of the greatest films of all time. Well, it had a similar discrepancy. Whereas Michael has about a 50% discrepancy, Breakin' has about a 40% discrepancy. A 33% critic score, but a 73% audience score. Why? Because not a lot of people who weren't into breakdancing went to go see Breakin'. But if you were like me, my name was Pisces of the Zodiac crew, breakdancing crew. Bet a lot of you didn't know that. I was a professional breakdancer for a while. Let that blow your mind. It's true. I was a professional breakdancer. Anyway. Now it looks like I can only break my hip. So back in the day, that's right, baby. Dat Toad got it. Turbo and Ozone, man. Full marks to you for knowing that. Kudos to you. You are the man for knowing that. Yes, Turbo and Ozone. So people like me were just going in to watch Breakin' to see breakdancing. And the breakdancing was fun and it was great. So I walk out understanding that it's one of the greatest films of all time. Shut your filthy whore mouth if you don't agree. But people who just went into Breakin' to see a good, well put together movie, unsurprisingly, were not as impressed with the film. Oh yeah, that's another good one. That's another good one, Jermaine. Beat Street. Beat Street, king of the beat. You'll be rocking that beat up and down the street. Beat Street is what is it? Oh yeah, Beat Street is a lesson too, cause you can't let the street beat you. I even know the fucking song. Beat Street was pretty good too, man. Beat Street was pretty damn good. I liked Beat Street. I think I like Breakin' a little better. I think I like Breakin' a little bit better. But anyway, back to the point. So you had people who love breakdancing. They rush out to go see Breakin', and 73% of them like it because it delivered what they were looking for. It delivered breakdancing, and it delivered celebrating breakdancing and painting breakdancing in a good light. And so they liked it. Whereas the general film critics who were looking for other things like great story, good depth, multi-dimensional characters, great synergy, all that kind of stuff, they were not as impressed because if I'm going to be honest, as a movie, Breakin' kind of sucked. I love Breakin'. Again, shut your dirty whore mouth. But I have to admit that Breakin' is not a very good movie. And I think my guess is, and it's just a guess, my guess is that that's kind of the same phenomena that we're seeing with the discrepancy between the critic score and the audience score of Michael. A lot of people like myself were going into Michael just wanting to see a celebration of Michael Jackson, to see a celebration of his music. And listen, man, half the movie I was dancing in my seat, right? Like I said, I told you guys when they were doing the Thriller part, of the movie and showing them making the Thriller music video, my wife, Dr. Ann Campea, I looked over at her and she was literally doing the, yeah, like she was jamming around. And listen, I'm not going to lie, a good part of the movie, I'm sitting in my seat, you know, although tell me, is it bad? Am I wrong for this? That whenever I hear the opening music for, Beat It, and they went over them making Beat It, but whenever I hear Beat It, all I hear in my head is Weird Al's Eat It. Eat it. Eat it. Get yourself an egg and beat it. Am I wrong? Is that bad? Or speaking of bad, when they did bad in the movie, there is absolutely, all I could hear was Weird Al Yankovic's Fat. If I have one more pie a la mode, I'm gonna need my own zip code, jam on a whole wheat. Anyway, am I bad? Am I wrong? Is that bad of me? It's just the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. As somebody who liked the movie, that was just the truth for me. Anyway, so again, my best guess, because again, I know a lot of film critics who have been very excited for this Michael movie, who didn't like the movie. They don't hate Michael Jackson. They're not anti-Michael Jackson. They were excited to see it because Michael Jackson, one of the biggest stars of all time, Antoine Fuqua was directing it. They're going to see it, but they just didn't like it. And listen, as somebody who did like the movie, I understand the criticism. I agree with a lot of the criticisms, to be honest with you. I say this as somebody who is pro this movie. I understand the criticisms. And so again, my best guess is that the reason you see the discrepancy is that all you had were people who were very pro Michael Jackson going to see the movie to a degree. And so they're looking for one experience like I was, and the movie did deliver that experience. So we walk out happy. Whereas film critics who are agnostic about Michael Jackson went to the movie just looking for a good movie. And as just a straight up movie, it definitely has its weaknesses. It definitely does. Now I'm looking forward to seeing the next one, and hopefully they're able to build on it and have some more success. But that's my guess. But listen, guys, once again, look at this number. Previous all-time record, 5 million. Michael obliterated it. 12.6 million. How big is the opening weekend going to be? I don't know. We'll find out. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.